Welcome, warriors of the modern world. In a time where information floods our minds like a relentless torrent, where distractions pull at us from every direction like hidden enemies in the shadows, the ability to remember anything fast isn't just a skill, it's a weapon. Imagine wielding your mind with the precision of a katana, cutting through forgetfulness and emerging victorious in battles of knowledge, productivity, and self-mastery. This is the essence of the samurai memory drill, a technique forged in the fires of ancient Japan, drawn from the unyielding discipline of the samurai, the profound insights of Zen philosophy, and the mental training practices that turned ordinary men into legends. I am your guide on this path to ancient samurai wisdom for mastering the modern world. Today, we delve into a method that samurai warriors used to etch strategies, poems, codes of honor, and even the faces of allies and foes into their memories with unbreakable clarity. These warriors didn't have smartphones or apps. They had something far more powerful: their trained minds, rooted in Bushido, the way of the warrior, and Zen Buddhism, which emphasized mindfulness and inner strength. The samurai memory drill transforms memory from a fleeting whisper into a roaring echo that endures. Why does this matter to you in our fast-paced lives? We juggle endless tasks, learning new skills for work, recalling details from meetings, studying for exams, or even remembering the names of people we meet in networking events. The samurai faced life or death situations where a lapse in memory could mean defeat. They honed their recall through rigorous mental drills, blending physical discipline with philosophical depth. By adopting these techniques, you too can sharpen your focus, strengthen your memory, build unshakable discipline, and master yourself from the inside out. This isn't about rote memorization. It's about forging a mind as resilient as samurai steel. Let me paint a picture from history. Picture a samurai in the misty mountains of feudal Japan, meditating before dawn. He isn't just sitting in silence. He's drilling his memory, visualizing every stroke of his sword form, every verse of the Hokkaku, the samurai's guide to life and death. Through Zen practices like Zazen seated meditation, he clears the mental clutter, allowing pure retention to take root. This drill we're about to explore is inspired by such traditions. Adapted for your daily battles, it's a step-by-step process that anyone can learn, but it demands commitment, just as the samurai pledged their lives to their code. Before we begin the drill, understand its foundation. Zen philosophy teaches that the mind is like a mirror, polished and clear. It reflects truth without distortion, but in our modern chaos, that mirror is smudged with notifications, stress, and overload. The samurai used mental training to wipe it clean. They drew from ancient practices like koan riddles, which forced deep contemplation, and archery drills that required perfect recall of form under pressure. This memory drill synthesizes those elements into a practical system: preparation through focus, encoding through visualization, reinforcement through association, discipline through repetition, and mastery through review. Now, let's embark on this journey. I'll guide you through each step with detailed explanations, historical anecdotes, and modern applications. By the end, you'll have a toolkit to remember anything fast, whether it's a speech, a shopping list, or complex concepts. Remember, the samurai didn't achieve greatness overnight. They practiced relentlessly. So, approach this with the spirit of a warrior, patient, determined, and honorable. The first step in the samurai memory drill is cultivating inner stillness. This is the foundation, the calm before the storm. In Zen philosophy, stillness is not emptiness, it's the fertile ground where memory takes root. Samurai warriors began their days with meditation, often in the form of zazen, to quiet the monkey mind, that restless chatter that scatters thoughts like leaves in the wind. Without this stillness, information slips away like water through fingers. To practice this, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit upright, as if holding a sword at your side, spine straight, embodying the samurai's poise. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Inhale deeply, counting to 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. As thoughts arise, worries about work, plans for dinner, acknowledge them without judgment and let them pass. Like clouds drifting across the sky, this isn't about forcing silence. It's about observing and returning to the breath. Why does this work for memory? Modern neuroscience echoes Zen wisdom when the mind is cluttered. The hippocampus, the brain's memory center, struggles to encode new information. By cultivating stillness, you reduce cortisol, the stress hormone that impairs recall, and boost neuroplasticity, allowing your brain to form stronger connections. Samurai used this before memorizing battle tactics or poetry, ensuring their minds were as sharp as their blades. In your modern life, apply this before any learning session. Suppose you're preparing for a presentation. Spend 5 minutes in stillness. First, feel the weight lift from your mind, creating space for details to embed. Over time, this builds discipline, teaching you to control impulses that lead to distraction. It's the samurai's secret. Mastery starts within. Once stillness is achieved, move to the second step, visualization with warrior intent. Samurai were masters of imagery. They visualized every duel, every stroke, as if it were real. This draws from Zen's emphasis on direct experience, seeing things as they are, but also projecting them vividly in the mind's eye. To do this, take what you want to remember and transform it into a vivid, dynamic scene. Don't just think of words. See them as living entities. For example, if you're memorizing a list, say, groceries, apples, bread, milk. Picture a samurai in a dojo. He slices an apple with his katana, the juice spraying like blood from a foe. Then, he kneels on a loaf of bread as if it's a meditation cushion, crumbling under his weight. Next, he pours milk over his armor to polish it, the white liquid gleaming. Finally, he juggles eggs like shuriken, careful not to break them, make it absurd, emotional, and sensory-rich. Why absurd? Because the brain loves novelty. Mundane things fade, but bizarre images stick. Emotional ties come from Zen's focus on impermanence, make the visualization intense to mimic the samurai's life or death stakes. Sensory details engage multiple brain areas, visual cortex for sights, olfactory for smells, making the memory multi-layered. Historically, samurai used visualization in Kyudo archery, imagining the arrow's path before release. In modern terms, this is like the method of loci, but infused with warrior spirit. Apply it to anything. For a history lesson on World War. To dates, visualize samurai allies storming beaches in 1944, their banners fluttering. The key is intent. Approach it with the focus of a warrior facing an opponent. This step sharpens focus by demanding full immersion, turning passive reading into active creation. Practice daily. Start with small lists, then scale to paragraphs or concepts. You'll notice recall speeding up as the mind retrieves the scene effortlessly. This builds discipline, as visualization requires sustained effort, mirroring the samurai's endless training. With visualization in place, we advance to the third step, association through chains of honor. Samurai lived by Bushido, a code linking virtues like loyalty, courage, and respect into an unbreakable chain. Similarly, this step chains new information to what you already know, creating a web of associations that defies forgetting. Begin by identifying anchors, familiar concepts, or memories that are rock solid in your mind. Then, link the new material to them with creative bridges. For instance, to remember a phone number, 31415 to 653, associate it with pi 3.1 for 159 to 653. Picture a samurai baking a pie in a dojo, but the pie explodes into 3 samurai 3. 1 katana for 4 shuriken, and so on. The absurdity strengthens the chain. Zen philosophy underpins this. Everything is interconnected, like the threads of a spider's web. By associating, you're honoring the unity, making isolated facts part of a larger tapestry. Samurai used this for recalling clan alliances or sword techniques, linking them to personal stories or nature symbols, a river for fluid motion, a mountain for steadfastness. In the modern world, use it for networking. Meet someone named Alex at a conference. Associate Alex with Alexander the Great, but as a samurai conqueror wielding a business card instead of a sword. This not only aids memory, but builds discipline by encouraging creative thinking under constraints. To master this, practice chaining longer sequences. Start with 5 items, build to 20. Notice how focus intensifies, distractions weaken when your mind is busy forging links. This step transforms memory into a relational art, much like the samurai's harmonious life. Now, deepen the drill with the 4th step, repetition with disciplined rhythm. Samurai didn't learn by cramming, they repeated actions until they became instinct. Like the endless kata forms in martial arts, this step infuses repetition with rhythm, drawn from Zen's rhythmic practices like chanting or tea ceremonies. To make it sustainable and effective, space your repetitions wisely. Don't hammer endlessly. Use intervals. Review immediately after learning, then after 10 minutes, an hour, a day, a week. Each time, recite actively, speak aloud, write it down, or teach it to an imaginary apprentice. Infuse rhythm, perhaps pace like a samurai patrolling, or sync with breaths. Inhale the fact, exhale the recall. Why rhythm? Zen teaches flow like a river carving stone over time. Brutal repetition fatigues. Rhythmic ones build endurance. Science supports this. Spaced repetition strengthens neural pathways, moving info from short-term to long-term memory. Samurai applied it in sword drills, repeating until muscle memory took over. For modern application, use it for language learning. Repeat vocabulary in rhythmic sets, associating each word with a samurai gesture. This builds discipline as consistency is key. Miss a session and the chain weakens. Track progress in a journal, honoring the samurai's reflective practice. Over time, this step forges unbreakable habits. Your mind becomes a fortress impervious to forgetfulness. It's the grind that separates warriors from wanderers. Finally, seal the drill with the 5th step, review in tranquil reflection. After the intensity, samurai retreated to gardens or temples for reflection, contemplating their actions. This step mirrors that, reviewing memories in a state of tranquility to embed them eternally. Set aside time at day's end or week's close. Sit in stillness as in step 1, and mentally walk through what you've learned. Don't force, let it arise naturally. Journal insights. What stuck easily? What needs reinforcement? Visualize the entire chain, associating anew if gaps appear. Zen philosophy calls this mush and no mind, where true understanding emerges without effort. It's the culmination, turning drills into wisdom. Samurai reflected on battles, extracting lessons for future mastery. In your life, reflect on a week's learnings, perhaps work projects or books read. This not only strengthens memory, but cultivates self-mastery, revealing patterns in your thinking. By integrating reflection, the drill becomes a cycle: stillness to visualization, association, repetition, and back to reflection. This holistic approach builds a mind of steel. As we conclude this exploration of the samurai memory drill, reflect on the path we've walked. We've drawn from the ancient wisdom of samurai warriors, Zen philosophy, and mental training to equip you with tools for remembering anything fast. From cultivating inner stillness to visualizing with intent, associating through chains, repeating with rhythm, and reviewing in tranquility, each step builds upon the last, forging a disciplined, focused, and masterful self. Remember, the samurai didn't seek quick fixes, they embraced the journey. In our modern world, besieged by information overload, this drill is your shield and sword. Practice it daily and watch as your memory sharpens, your focus intensifies, and your inner strength grows. You are not just remembering facts, you are mastering your mind, honoring the warrior within. Carry this wisdom forward. Apply it in your battles, be they in boardrooms, classrooms, or personal quests. The path to ancient samurai wisdom isn't about the past, it's about conquering the present. Go forth, warrior, and remember, the mind that endures is the mind that prevails.